Hey y'all, it's Jessica from Sloppy Swatches. Today for this week's But Do They Watermarble, I'm featuring the Maine Squeeze collection that's available right now from Anchor and Heart Lacquer. These were sent to me for review, and I do have a full swatch and review. I'll link all the social media and storefronts down below, as well as a link to that video. So I'll go ahead and get right into it. As always, I'm using my tiny teacup full of room temperature filtered water. I'll also be dropping them first in the order that I swatched them in, and then in reverse, and then do a final look. So my thoughts on when using these aren't what I would call aggressive spreaders. They do stay on top of the water really nicely though. I did have to kind of bring that bullseye out to the edge of the cup. These are going to be a little bit slow to spread, but since these were more on the sheer side, these actually don't build up too bad in the center of the bullseye. So I was able to make 2 full passes through all 6 colors. Next, I'm going to use my Watermarble tool and drag a linear design. What I found here is that the outside rings absolutely do dry, so you don't want to mess with those too much or you may ruin your pattern. But the inside rings stayed nice and malleable. I was able to go in for a full double with no problems at all. These colors really complement each other very nicely. Next, I'll show you how they dropped in the reverse order. So starting with the purple, I went ahead and brought that all the way to the edge. Sometimes that works for me and sometimes it doesn't. Usually I try to do 6 colors that make a nice circular bullseye and then bring it out to the edge to keep everything nice and round. These actually did really well though with doing that with the first drop. So I'm going to go ahead and try to make it to 6 drops here. These kind of spread out a little bit. That purple did dry on the outside ring, so you just may want to be mindful of that. I am going to try to go in for a full circular pattern, so I was able to pull 8 points out, no problem, and then 8 points inwards. The inside ring stayed nice and easy to move. The outside rings did dry a little bit for me. So I have sped these clips up a little bit, not too much. I'm going to go in with my Watermarble tool right there in the center, and these did do a beautiful swirl. The pattern was a little bit thin there, but I think over a white base it's going to pop really nicely. So for my final look today, I'm going to go in for a pointed petal look. I did start somewhere in the middle of the collection here. I believe I started with the yellow and then worked my way outwards. I do believe that I went another full 12 rings for this bullseye. If not, I usually like to go at about 9. I found that that makes enough rings for a really colorful pattern without burning up that bullseye too much. So I'm going to go ahead and bring the pattern all the way to the outside and then begin dragging inwards. And I did do the full 9 rings here and not 12. So these worked really well for petals. I really love how all of these colors look together. They're very bright but still pastel. For some reason it reminds me of Care Bears, even though I know they were all about rainbows. So this made a beautiful petal pattern. I was able to pull all the points out with no problems at all. The design didn't get thick on me or anything like that. I have my nails prepped with 1 coat of Pure by Tux Polish as well as Unicorn Poop Cuticula nail tape. I do have my very own affiliate code with them now. I'll leave it down in the description box if you'd like to save 10% off any Cuticula order. So next I'm just going to drop it right into the edge there on the pattern. What I found with these that makes them so great for water marbling is I was able to dip my nail in and then kind of separate it from the rest of the image. So I was able to get more than 1 dip in this pattern, which I am all about. The more dips I can get in a single use of polish, the better I feel like it is. So I was able to do this on 2 nails, no problems at all. I'm going to go ahead and use a Q-tip and gather up the excess. I didn't really have any usable image left. So next I'm going to take my Watermarble tool and make sure that the liquid nail tape and the pattern on my nail are completely separated. Sometimes when I remove my latex barrier, it'll pull a little bit of the image off, especially if I give it time to dry. So I'm going to go ahead and start a little bit of a peel off and then go in with my tweezers and bring it all the way down. I am in love with the Cuticula nail tapes. These snap off like latex. They work really well and they leave your skin smelling super nice. So next I'll be top coating with HK Girl from Glisten and Glow. This did a beautiful finish on here. I had no smearing or anything like that. I think these shimmers would be beautiful matte as well. So here's a look at that completed mani with a glossy top coat underneath my artificial lighting. Here it is once more at an angle in direct sunlight with a top coat. This is my swatch photo underneath artificial lighting and then once more at an angle in that direct sunlight. So that wraps up today's But Do They Watermarble? Please leave your recommendations down below. I do have a few weeks built up, but I always love hearing what you guys would like to see tested. Again, I will link all of Anchor and Heart Lacquer's storefront and social media down below. If you like, you can also follow me on Instagram at Sloppy Swatches. So thanks so much for watching, guys. See you next time.